Did you know that you could get a full iPad Pro setup like this one for less than the iPad Air? I snagged this used iPad Pro with the keyboard and the Apple Pencil for $640 on Facebook Marketplace. If you were to go on the Apple website now and try to purchase the newest M4 iPad Pro with the new Magic Keyboard and the new Apple Pencil Pro, it'll cost you at least $1,500, and I'm gonna take you through how I use my used iPad Pro daily and see if it was worth saving over $800 and see if you should do the same. I chose the used M1 iPad Pro over other models because I wanted to stay relevant for a few more years and be able to get all the updates from Apple. Considering that this is the first M chip they came out with, I figured it would, and I still wanted to save some money. My intent for the iPad was to primarily use for tasks like writing scripts, casual browsing, and watching videos. Basically, think of all the tasks that I could do on my MacBook Pro, but without needing all that extra computing power. On top of that, I did consider the cheaper lineups like the iPad Airs or the regular iPads, but they don't have the ProMotion display, and that was the one thing I really wanted for my iPad, so unfortunately, that left the iPad Pro lineup as my only option. But like I said, since I wanted to use it for mainly lighter tasks, I figured a used M1 iPad Pro would do the job. The iPad Pro plus Magic Keyboard isn't exactly light at 2.36 pounds, but compared to my 3.4 pounds MacBook Pro, I could definitely feel the difference when carrying it around or even using it on my lap. I'm headed to a cafe to get some work done. I'm gonna bring my iPad Pro, but also my MacBook to show you guys the difference in what they look like in real life. When your working space is tight in a public place like a cafe or a library like this, it's way easier to fit the iPad than a MacBook. I mean, just look at the comparison of them side by side and how huge the MacBook Pro looks next to the iPad Pro. And just to hone in on the point of how the footprint of the iPad Pro is much smaller than the MacBook, look how it fits so nicely inside the frame of it. Not saying the MacBook Pro is not portable at all, because I obviously bring it around when I need to do some work, but having an iPad Pro setup that's much smaller and compact for lighter tasks has made my life a lot easier. To me, the beauty of an iPad with the keyboard is its versatility. Unlike a MacBook Pro, I can just detach it from the keyboard and just start using it as a tablet. I did make a video on the iPad mini and how great it is about a year ago, but the biggest complaint I had about the iPad mini after using it for a while was the fact that there weren't any good keyboard options. And that led to making it feel like it was limited to just content consumption mostly, but that could be just me. One thing I will say about the Magic Keyboard is that it turned the iPad Pro into something that could easily fit into my routine pretty effortlessly. Like right now, if I just wanted to get some work done at a dining table, I can just use it as a laptop, or I can use it as a stand for the iPad when I'm eating something so I can watch something while eating. And if I want to work on the couch over there, I can just simply pick up the iPad, go over here to the couch, just put it on my lap like so, and just start working. Obviously, I know that you can do this with the MacBook as well, but look, if you just want to start watching content after working, just detach it like that, and then voila, you can start watching content or just use it as a regular tablet. Speaking of consuming content, the speakers on the iPad Pro are actually really good. They have 4 speakers, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, so they provide a more immersive sound experience, even compared to like an iPhone. So let me just show you a quick sound comparison between the iPad Pro and my iPhone 16 Pro. I'm gonna start playing from the iPhone first. All right, let me start playing it from the iPad. On the screen, you just need a better life than this. You need something I can... Yeah, I don't know if the mic was able to pick it up, but it's definitely providing more bass. Just has that surround sound experience compared to the iPhone since it only has 2 speakers. And as much as I love the Magic Keyboard, it's not perfect. The keyboard feels very cramped, especially on the 11-inch model after long typing sessions. There's also no function row, meaning no easy volume or brightness controls, which the new Magic Keyboard has. And the trackpad, as you can see, it's very tiny. I mean, I barely use it, and I just use the touchscreen for most things. I mean, here's how it looks next to a MacBook trackpad for size comparison. So all that to say, the trackpad sucks. And there's the Apple Pencil. I mean, it's cool, and I get why it's popular for artists or people who take a lot of notes, but I personally don't use it too much and won't spend too much time talking about it. I don't personally write handwritten notes or draw on the iPad, so unless you do either of those things frequently, you could probably save some money on the Apple Pencil. So at the end of the day, do I regret buying a used M1 iPad Pro over the newest M4 iPad Pro? Absolutely not. Look, I'm sure there are things that the M4 iPad Pro can do better than the M1 version, but for my personal use, it does everything that I want it to do, and I can't justify paying almost $1,500 for a new iPad with a keyboard and the Apple Pencil. Especially when I can get a full setup of this used iPad for less than half the price. So if you can find a good deal on a used M1 iPad Pro like I did on your local Facebook Marketplace or online, I'd highly recommend checking it out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.